The movie starts 30 years ago at a family Christmas party. A young boy named Jack O'Ollie shows his cousins that the gifts they got actually came from their parents, not Santa Claus. Since he ruined their belief in Santa, they all give him their candy as a sort of punishment. Then, Jack's Uncle Rick comes upstairs and tells him off, saying Santa is real and will be bringing gifts that night. But Jack doesn't believe him. He thinks the idea of Santa is just a silly scam. Now, in the present day, Jack is a skilled tracker. He sneaks into a mall by causing a distraction. He sets a Christmas tree on fire, steals a security card from a woman, and plants a device in the computer system. To top it off, he even steals candy from a baby just because the baby stared at him too long. At the same mall, the real Santa Claus, also called the Red One, is doing his usual Christmas appearance. He's with his top bodyguard, Callum Drift, who runs elf security at the North Pole. Santa looks around and feels disappointed by how greedy and rude the holiday shoppers are. When a pushy influencer interrupts a family meeting Santa, Callum steps in and scares him away. Back at Jack's apartment, he talks to a mysterious boss who gives him a job to track someone. The boss pays him only half of what was promised and says the rest will come after the job is done. Meanwhile, Callum and Santa go back to the North Pole, which is hidden behind a magical force field. Santa opens it by pulling a lever on his sleigh. Inside, they are greeted by magical creatures and Mrs. Claus, who is happy to see them. Callum tells Santa he wants to retire because he's losing faith in the holiday spirit. He gives Santa a letter saying people don't care about Christmas anymore. Santa tries to cheer him up, saying they still do this work to bring people together, not to judge them. Soon, a group of mercenaries breaks into the North Pole. Callum notices lights flickering in Santa's tower and goes to check. He finds Santa missing. He sees the kidnappers escaping and chases them on a snowmobile, but can't catch up before they get away. After this, the North Pole is contacted by Zoe, the head of the Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority, MOA. She tells Callum they have only 24 hours to find Santa before Christmas Eve. She says they need to hire a top tracker known as the Wolf. Jack gets a call from his ex, Olivia. Their son Dylan is in trouble at school for trying to hack the school's announcement system. A friend told on him, so he got caught. Olivia asks Jack to pick Dylan up. Jack scolds Dylan, not for trying to hack, but for doing it badly. Dylan says he has a concert that night, but doesn't care if Jack shows up. Jack feels guilty for not being around and promises to do better. When Jack gets home, he's attacked by a group of North Pole soldiers. He fights them off briefly, but Zoe knocks him out and takes him to the North Pole. There, Jack is brought before Callum and a giant polar bear. Jack tries to explain that he was just hired to track someone and didn't know it was Santa. This makes Callum and Garcia even angrier. Zoe steps in to calm things down. She tells Jack that the people who hired him are the ones who kidnapped Santa. Meanwhile, Santa wakes up in a prison cell. He meets his kidnapper, a woman named Gora, also known as the Christmas Witch. She hooks him up to a machine that drains his magical energy to power a weapon, a magical snow globe prison called a gloss of fig. Back at the North Pole, Jack and Callum agree, though reluctantly, to work together to save Santa and Christmas. They start by going through a portal in a toy store, where they use magic to turn a toy car into a real car. Their first stop is Aruba, where they track down a man named Ted, the person who made the deal between Jack and Gora. Callum uses magic to shrink and grow himself during a fight with Ted's bodyguards. After the fight, Ted tells them that Gora is the villain. He writes her name in the sand to show them how it's spelled. Jack accidentally says Gora's name out loud, not knowing that she can hear it whenever it's spoken. She takes control of Ted's body and speaks through him, threatening to hurt everyone on Santa's naughty list. Right after that, an ice cream truck rises from the ocean, and 3 huge, evil snowmen come out to attack. Jack and Callum fight them, but they keep putting themselves back together. Callum figures out their weak spot. He knocks the carrot nose off one, which destroys it. Jack throws a propane tank on a grill, then tosses a bottle of liquor to make it explode, blowing up the second snowman. Before the third one can freeze Jack, Callum rips off its nose too, destroying it. Ted is frozen in the attack and can't help them anymore. Zoe shows up and talks with Callum and Jack. Callum thinks Santa's long-lost brother, Krampus, is helping Gora. Zoe says her agency, the MOA, doesn't have permission to go after Krampus, so Callum and Jack decide to go in secret. Meanwhile, Gora tests the gloss of fig on her assistant Abel. He gets trapped inside the globe, but it doesn't return her hand like it should. This frustrates her, so she decides to change her plan. Jack gets a call from his ex, Olivia, who's upset that he might miss Dylan's school concert. Jack talks about his son with Callum, admitting he hasn't been the best dad. Callum and Jack arrive at Krampus's lair, but Jack accidentally sets off an alarm when he tries to steal some gold. They're caught and thrown in prison, then taken to meet Krampus. Callum tells Krampus that Santa needs help, but Krampus doesn't care and plans to keep Callum locked up. Jack then challenges Krampus to a traditional game called Krampus Slap. The game involves getting slapped hard by Krampus. Callum tries to talk sense into Krampus, but gets slapped so hard he flies across the room. Before Callum can go again, Jack activates a special arm brace that boosts Callum's strength. Callum delivers a powerful slap that knocks Krampus down, giving them a chance to escape. Back at their car, they find a mysterious package from Gora, addressed to Jack. He refuses to open it. Then, Jack gets a video call from Dylan. Jack's son Dylan is upset that Jack didn't come to his school concert. Dylan opens a mysterious package that was left for him. It contains a gloss of fig. Jack tries to warn him not to touch it, but it's too late. Dylan touches the globe and gets teleported to Gora's lair. Jack quickly grabs his own globe and follows to rescue him. Inside Gora's lair, Jack and Dylan hear her evil plan. She wants to use the gloss of figs to trap all the naughty people in the world and purify the earth. After she leaves, Jack apologizes to Dylan for being a bad father. Dylan forgives him. Because Jack is trying to be a better person, his naughty level improves, and both he and Dylan grow large enough to break out of the magical globes. Luckily, Zoe had placed a tracker on Jack earlier, so Callum is able to find him and Dylan. They realize that Santa was never taken away from the North Pole. Instead, shape-shifting goons working for Gora had taken over the North Pole. They figure out Gora's big plan. She wants to force Santa to fly his sleigh and deliver the globes across the world to trap everyone she thinks is naughty. The team rushes to stop her. They free the real Mrs. Claus, Garcia, and others. As Gora tries to escape in Santa's sleigh, Jack and Callum catch up and fight her. During the battle, Jack unhooks the reindeer from the sleigh, causing it to crash and send Gora flying. Callum tries to wake Santa, but Gora returns, this time in her real, terrifying form, a giant ogre. Just as she's about to attack, Krampus shows up in his own sleigh to help. He fights Gora, but gets thrown around. Santa finally wakes up and calls his reindeer to help. They lift Gora into the air and punch her into a pile of gloss of figs, trapping her inside one. Krampus wishes Santa a Merry Christmas and jokes about getting a rematch with Callum. Then he flies off. Everyone works quickly to get Santa ready to deliver presents. Jack, Callum, and Dylan join him as he flies around the world, spreading joy. Callum watches Jack and Dylan bond, and even sees a glimpse of Jack's inner child. This makes Santa realize that Callum has regained his Christmas spirit and decides not to retire after all. Santa then flies them all back home.